Hello. So, are you ready for wrapping? I mean wrapping, not wrapping. Okay. So, you've been waiting for this little workshop, not workshop, but like a live video. We could see that you're setting, countdown reminders. Thank you so much for joining and watching. So I'll try to be informative, short as I can be, because everyone has works to do. And sorry that I arranged this at 3 o'clock because I have some meetings to attend later. But if you couldn't attend this video, you can watch in 24 hours, isn't it? So our theme today, we're going to talk about wrapping. And actually I will introduce you, if you never heard, about locking. If you've been watching our posts and stories, I keep talking about locking. What is it, locking? Yeah, I've been teaching our students since 2013 how to lock the fans. Not to wrap, but how to lock. And actually this technique was quite popular for good retention. But it's not just about that. I'm going to talk, is it necessary to wrap or lock, and all other tips and tricks, okay? So I have some slides ready, so maybe it will be easier for you to understand what I'm talking about, okay? So, slowly. So, smooth base, yeah? First of all, I'm just gonna start not about wrapping or locking, but just like it has to be smooth base like this, yeah, for example, something like that, not crisscrossed. You probably all know. In case this could be done if you've been taught how to do this way. It has to be actually the base crisscrossed, and then you apply the fan from the side of the natural lash, and it actually really nicely wraps. But if you haven't had this training, you can experiment, I guess, but I'm not going to talk about that. So concentrate on the smooth base, okay? And of course, it has to be thin base. You probably all know. If you start seeing like spiky bases or flat bases, just, throw away that fan or try to fix it if it's not too late, okay? So don't use those kind of fans because it's not gonna lock or wrap, okay? Okay, these are just like a few bad attachments, as you can see. The first one, it's correct, but it's probably just wrapped half moon, yeah, as you can see. Or it also could be placed on top. It's no mistake if you're not wrapping. I will talk a bit later about that. But please watch what you're doing and what's happening with the bases. This is actually quite dramatic, but we need to show dramatic, And if you're placing, and the base like slides or slips a little bit, it could be sometimes, maybe you didn't notice or something, but that could happen. If you're placing on top very curly lashes, yeah, this could happen and you don't see because you place extensions, not necessarily fans, on top, and sometimes you don't see what's happening with the base, yeah? So the base can lift. It's not gonna wrap, it's not gonna give you any good attachment, or I'm not talking about locking, okay? If you're placing from underneath, this is very, very common mistake when you have a gap, all right? Because again, when you're placing from underneath, and if the natural lash growing really, really down or straight, when you're coming from under, this is what happens, yeah? This angle. If you don't bring your tweezers and the lash to meet your extension, to meet the natural lash, in most of the cases, this will happen, okay? So just little bit about attachment. There is much more to talk about. So here's a video. So what happened here? I can repeat. Okay, why did they do this on a fake lash? Because on a natural lash sometimes it's very hard to show the reality. So here the base looks quite big, but trust me, it's not too long. It's not even halfway of the fan. But because it's like with the macro lens, everything looks really big. But the adhesive, it's very, very fast drying. So even if I was very, very fast to dip into the adhesive and bring it to the natural lash, it couldn't wrap like completely. About locking again, forget it. But it's just attached. Right. This is not huge mistake, and it's not a mistake at all if you attached correctly parallel to the natural lash. It will give you good retention. You were fast. It's still bonded, but it couldn't wrap fully because the adhesive was drying too fast. So the point I'm trying to tell, for the wrapping, if you are a wrapper, as I said, and you want better retention, you need to have a flexible adhesive, maybe a little bit slower drying, okay? If you don't want to wrap, there's another thing. I will show you another video and I will tell you what is very important. So, let's move on. Okay. Right. This technique, it shows you locking. Right, can you see, I don't know, I'm just like, let's say our pretending natural lash is exactly in the center of the fan, inside, yeah? I will repeat this video again, but please watch closely this area. Don't look here, look here, what's happening with the fan. If you've seen it, raise your thumbs. Comment with emoji, thumbs that you noticed what happened with the base. How many thumbs we can see? One, I can see. Right, okay.
One more.
One more, good.
One more.
Perfect.
There we go, they've seen it.
Yay. So, the locking is pretty hard. Always students, they say, can you teach me, I can show you, and I just showed you just right now, but this happens from practice, okay? I can, like physically, when we in the class together, I can guide you, I can, hold your arms and move forward, backwards, to the side. But when you watch, video, someone will tell you, do this and that. Come on. It's either you will get it during the practice or someone will guide your hand, all right? So for me, it's not a big problem to show you. I can show you one more time, third time, fourth time. If you get it during the practice. So basically, you need to again hold your fan parallel to the natural lash, and in most of the cases, locking happens when you go from underneath, okay? Right, so what's the point? Do we need to lock every single time? Or is it enough wrapping? Or we can just place on top? Those three methods, all good. Just need to do correctly, all right? So if you're placing it on top, I'm showing now the next video. I will repeat. Okay, so in this video it's just a placement on top. It's probably not even wrapped. Glue was flexible, you could probably see the shiny color, but it was placed parallel, again, you see, parallel, always parallel to the natural lash, not this angle. And I will show you later what I mean. So when it's placed on top, we do recommend, if you hold the fan always a little bit higher. If you hold lower, it's very difficult to make correct attachment. But if you hold higher your fan, it's perfect. Then you can, angle your fan parallel to the natural lash. So now, if you're placing on top and you using very fast adhesive, you don't have time to wrap, it's absolutely fine. Just make the base of the fan really slim. You don't want any edges, any fat, fans and looking bases. But that's another story, how to make the bases smooth, right? If you're placing from the side, same parallel to the natural lash, not, let's say here natural lash and here's your fan. No. Need to bring it so it meets from the side. And make sure base again is smooth. If you're wrapping, maybe use slow adhesive so you have time to gently press it to the natural lash so the multiple extensions goes nicely like a half moon. If you're locking, go from underneath, parallel, and pulse little bit the base, little bit, release the pressure how you hold the fan with the tweezer. Bases should go apart and grab your natural lash. Try and let me know if this happens. The second video, the following video, just a little macro video. Base looks huge, but it's not. You see what I'm doing? I'm not releasing fast. I will repeat. This was nice wrapping. The natural lash again went inside. Locking. So if you have some questions after this video, you feel free to message us, email us. We're happy to share some tips for you. But just a visual attachments, if you're placing on top, it could wrap or just could be placed on top, but make sure you have a smooth base. Locked, what I mean, it's locked like that from the side. Yeah, just make sure you're not making edges. With the graphic design, it's not easy to do that. Now, in the next slide, I'm gonna show you shaded lashes with extensions. We did that on purpose with different attachments, and you will see how they look different. If it's not wrapped, just placed on top. If it's placed from the side and wrapped, and if it's locked. Okay, so you will see close-ups, and you will have a better idea. So this one, as you can see, natural lash shaded, yeah, very light, root, and extension is placed on top. It's not wrapped, it's not locked, it's just sitting on top. But the base made quite smooth, but you still, with the macro lens, you can see like a little step. Yeah, am I right? Natural lash quite strong, so it's not like really bad application, yeah, but we wanted to show you this step. What can happen when you see extensions like this? Right, survived the time, yeah? It shaded together with the natural lash. But in most of the cases, what can happen if you have big steps and if you're not applying parallel, sometimes it could be worse. Attachment not that good like in this picture. It can pop off very, very easy because the client, while client is brushing the lashes, catching the steps, right? So that retention could be affected. We always recommend, if you like to place your fans without wrapping, it's important to understand how you're placing and where you're placing when you play with the layers. Not gonna tell you this today. Not all the secrets in one, yeah? So, here you can see fan attached from the side. Okay? It tried to wrap, but not completely. And let's have a look to the locked fan. Can you see that the natural lash is inside? Somewhere here stops and then here appears. So the locking gives you invisible base, really, really smooth. As you can see, there is no steps. You can brush as much as you want, you're not gonna catch it. Lasts really, really well and creates very smooth bases, okay? Stays open as well for longer time. Here, I'm showing two different examples for you. What can happen if you're placing on top really big, let's say, bases, and you know you're achieving big steps, and you're not creating correct attachment. This is actually very short attachment. Because it's again taken with the macro lens, it looks huge. You know, big attachments is, well, you would think that is enough, but it's not. It could be up to here. And can you see what happened with the volume fan? It's closed. Because when you have a short attachment, in most of the cases, your fans can close. And because it's not wrapped or locked, maybe it was built up as well with the makeup. Well, it looks quite clean, but who knows, right? How it was looked after. And here again, I'm repeating the same locked fan. Stayed perfectly. It was actually from the same customer, the same time lashes applied, and same time shaded. Actually the same day. You can believe it or not, it's your choice. So, and the next I will show you, after this there will be video, how to remove, let's say, fans if they're wrapped or locked. But I have a video of fan where it's locked and you can see what I mean, right? It's not easy to remove. So, well, that's probably disadvantage of locked fans, but good retention. So, you know, it's your choice. Before that video, here just a little tip, advice, what not to do. Because again, you maybe would love looking at this and you would say that, oh, I don't pick up like that. But we've seen it a lot during some classes and videos. So never pick up with the tip of the tweezer. It's gonna be hard to, you know, how to say, manage your fan. Also, it's too low. Don't pick up your fan too high because you're losing control of the bases as well. And don't pick up too low because no chance you're gonna wrap, lock, or place correctly at all. Little bit higher. My preference is always like little bit higher than halfway of the fan. but everyone has their own techniques, whatever it works for you. And here you are as a video. So, what does it say? It says that the fan was around, the basis of the fan was around the natural lash, and when I pinched few times the base, I released the pressure so they went like a little bit apart, and then I removed just like out, because if it would be on top, it's enough just a pinch and it falls. If it's wrapping, maybe a little bit longer, you need to like pinch, and then it also falls. But locking, even if you pinched a few times the base, it doesn't come off. You need to slide off. Okay? So if you have any questions, here's the time to ask. If not, if you're shy or questions maybe will come later, feel free to message and we can answer. So, do we have some questions, Mila?
Not yet.
Great.
Got a lot of hearts and thumbs up.
Wow, thank you. Wait a second, which side of the is heart left? So, heart to you as well. Thanks for watching. And we will try to do a little bit more, educational live videos, because I still can see that many girls are asking, even how to wash the lashes or how to hold the tweezers. It's like we always think that we know everything, but like myself, I'm going to the conferences, I learn also lots of things. So yeah, we will try to do more tutorials. So if you don't have questions, or they will come to your head later, just message and we will answer.
Lots of thank yous for Loretta.
Thank you guys for watching, and till the next time.